Today's podcast, I sit down with Donna Roberts, a real estate agent out of Washington and Oregon State. She's a friend of mine, and years ago we met at a real estate seminar. We've kept in touch, we mastermind, and we talk about what's going on in her real estate market because a lot of our clients come from Washington and Oregon State. Take a listen.
We've got a barrel here. I'm on the board for a sheriff with the sheriff association collecting for the less fortunate in our area, and so we have a barrel here to a bin here for people around the neighborhoods or whatever to drop off food and toys unwrapped, and then we take it to the event and then they get wrapped and distributed. And because of our construction that's going on right now, it's been like our front door is not open, and so it's been kind of chaotic, but that's what happens when you're undergoing a remodel. So I have a
Fun stuff.
95-year-old building that is undergoing work right now.
And the building is just your office or it's other?
About a year and a half ago, before the market did its shift, I stepped out and bought a building right in our main downtown farm area. And so it's downtown, and it was a previous bank, like 4 different banks. So I have a drive-through. It's hilarious. I have a drive-through, and it's a 95-year-old building. And so a bike shop was in here before this. So we took 1 floor and have been working out of 1 floor. And then I have going to put tenants upstairs. And so that's being remodeled.
Mhm.
And then our area is being remodeled. And then we're going to move. And then a lender and a financial planner is moving in here. So bang, bang. That's what you're hearing. Carpet and sheetrocks being put in and all that good stuff. So sorry about that.
No, we're rolling, we're recording. So we're just kind of being very natural here. And I appreciate you taking the time and sitting down and talking with us. And I wanted, Donna, I don't know if you know this, but in Cabo, in the Baja, we have a number of clients that are in your area, in Washington, in Oregon. And that's been a market that you've been servicing for how many years?
18 years now. Yeah, 18 years now. And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that you have clients from this area. I mean, myself and my friends, I have probably vacationed in your area 8, 9 different times over the last 15 years because it is an area that we love. It's beautiful.
8 or 9 times.
Yep.
And have we've known each other for maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
And have you been down here in the last? Oh no, you brought your team down, did you?
No, that wasn't me. I have not been down in the last 5 years. I did go the last time I went down about 3 years ago. I went to the Cancun area, which I had never been before, and I kind of felt like I wanted to go somewhere different that I hadn't been. And then I did to the uh, Valle de Guadalupe also. I was able to go there about a year and a half ago also. So I've been to a couple different places different, but I do love Cabo.
Excellent. Well, there's direct flights from Seattle. I think there might be a direct flight from Portland also. Not sure.
I think there used to be for sure. I don't know if they still are running them, but before COVID, definitely. I know that we'd go directly to Cabo. Is our connection okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Our connection seems to be okay. Seems to be okay. You know, doing these virtual Zoom type podcast recordings, you never know with the internet. It's but it seems to be okay. And we haven't caught up a whole lot. We, belong to that mastermind with a lot of our friends and other top agents in the United States. And I don't know what's been going on in your business lately.
What's been going on in our business? Well, as you know, the market with interest rates and everything else that has occurred about the last year and a half, a little over a year. has definitely impacted our business. This is the first year that we haven't surpassed our goals from the year before. I've always, for 18 years, have seen my business grow, 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 grow. And then this past year, with everything that occurred, we had 11 agents a year ago. And between people getting out of the business, people moving, we now are at 6 agents on our team right now. And I would say our production compared to last year, we're down about 25%, which I know there's a lot of people that have, have seen less than, their market has shown them to even be worse off than that. So we're right now working on trying to just connect with people in the community and do more with our local sphere and team and educate people on what's going on with the market. So that's kind of what's going on. It's not as exciting as it was, but it's definitely busy. We still have people doing things, and I'm out in the field more working with past clients than I was able to in the past. So,
Okay. And you were mentioning earlier, I don't know if we were recording yet, but you had mentioned doing charity stuff, community efforts. What kind of stuff are you doing in the local communities?
So it's interesting because, so much business in the previous, we were doing Zillow Flex and partnering with some online things. And I've always been involved with the community as far as Santa's Posse is a local network between Rotary and our Sheriff's Association for the community. And I decided that we're going to do more locally in our geo farm or the area that we're working with. So aside from Santa's Posse, who I've worked with for about, 14 years, and that's a big one. So we take, at each closing, we take a percentage of a dollar amount and we send them to nonprofits as a gift in somebody's name. So Santa's Posse, this year we're adding YWCA, so because of some of the shelter activities that they have in the area. And then I'm on the board for an organization called Treasure House, which is on our side of town as well, and it serves the underserved community that needs help. So whether it's food or clothing or whatever. So I'm working on that board as well.
Which state did you start?
And I'm working.
What state do you what state do you actually reside in?
Washington State. So my home is in Washington State for tax purposes as well as other things, because in the state of Washington, we do not have an income tax. And so we pay a federal tax, but we don't have a state tax in the state of Washington. In the state of Oregon, you have a state income tax, which can be like 9%, as well as a federal tax. But Oregon doesn't have a sales tax, and Washington have a sales tax. So we have like two different situations here. So I reside in Washington State. I service probably about 85 to 90% Washington State and 10 to 15% Oregon State, because we're right on the border. So we want to be able to help our clients on both sides. If they have a house to sell in Oregon, we have people moving to Washington. And then my business office that I just purchased is in the state of Washington as well, that building.
Okay. And you're in your office right now, right?
Yes, I'm in my office. And like I said, it is under construction. So we literally are moving furniture from one room to the other while they're putting in carpet right now. And so we've got stacked up chairs and banging going on. So I apologize if there's any disruption.
Hey, no problem. I know exactly what it's like to go through a remodel of an office. We're actually doing that on 2 new offices.
Yeah, your office looks beautiful.
Yeah, this is our podcast studio, and we set this up over the summer, and it's really nice for our media team. It's
I love that.
so we don't have to constantly convert my office into a podcast studio. We can actually have a dedicated space. So it works out really nicely. The 18 years, is this the toughest market that you've been through, Donna?
It's different. I wouldn't say it's tougher. It's different than the market before. So When I got in the business in 2005, I was working part-time as working for the school district as a single mom, and I couldn't just jump into real estate full-time, so I was working part-time. And so I got in and everybody was doing well in 2005 as I just started at the end of the year. And then in 2006, we started seeing banks folding. We started seeing the beginning of the toughest recession market that we had seen. And so for me, I did build my business during that time, but it was different. That was the time of the short sales and the foreclosures, etc. And this is a different situation, as you well know. This is a situation of I don't have sellers that are worried about losing their house because they have so much equity in their home from what's occurred in the last 5 years. We are looking at people who don't want to move because they've got this incredible interest rate. So they're like, if they're not motivated to move right this second because, they're getting a divorce or, downsizing, or the people that don't have to move are sitting, that's what we're seeing. And yet we have all these young people, the millennials, what does they say? 74 million are going to hit in this 10-year cycle. And during that down cycle, they only built, I don't remember, is it like 15-20% of the homes they normally build in that decade? And here we have the largest group of homeowners that are now at the magical age of 31 and want to get a place. And we've got this crazy interest rate, lack of inventory kind of market. So it's totally different. We're having to address different needs for our clients for sure.
Okay. Are you finding yourself working more with sellers or buyers this year?
Buyers. We actually
Buy.
are working more with buyers. Yeah. I would say that the sellers, it's pretty, I've carried more listings, and I tend to do, I have a number of higher end listings as well. So it's our average price point is maybe 575 for our county. And I have a number of $3 million, $2 million listings, which you can imagine Vancouver, Washington is not, it's not like a San Francisco, LA market, Hawaii market where you have a lot of buyers in those price points. So while I do tend to have some higher price listings, I'm like just signed my second year listing with one of my I have a $3.6 million listing up north, and not a lot of buyers for that listing, so they're continuing with us and we're still trying to get the word out there, but not as many. I mean, when I looked for the whole year, over $2.5 million homes on less than an acre, we had one sell in the whole year.
Oh, wow.
One.
Wow.
So
And
if you had $2.5 million property and you maybe had acreage or whatever, there might have been a couple more sales, but we are seeing private builders finance something with somebody where they're doing a custom build, but not resale. So not resale. So not a lot. So it just takes longer on that seller side to sell those homes.
are those primary residence homes or second homes
No,
for your clients?
primary residence. Primary residence.
Okay. And what would you say the number of actives in that 2.5 half acre or less lots are in the market? Is it like dozens?
2.5 million and above on under an acre, maybe 20 in the whole county, maybe. So we have years worth of inventory for that price
So yeah.
point, for the high end. Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough sell then. Very tough. And when you have a seller that's in the $2 to $3 million price range, what are they typically doing? Why are they selling?
Typically, it's because they're looking to downsize and do something different, right? They had this house, they might have one of my sellers moved up from LA and had their dream home built on the Columbia River with like a 200-degree view. It's amazing. You can see you can see the ships come up the Columbia River. And it's a grand grand home. I mean, he built the grand lodges in the national parks and some of the major hotels. So they built this beautiful home, and it's just the two of them. And now, as they're getting older, they want to downsize, and so it's a unicorn kind of property for them to sell. The other one, same thing. They're downsizing. Kids are grown. They had this amazing, huge 8,000 square foot property with a swimming pool, hot tub, backing up to a green space, but they don't want to live that way anymore. So that's what we're
Mm.
typically seeing.
Do you ever get clients that are interested in second homes other than primary resident purchases? Is that a big market?
Yes. And people that are looking for investment properties, but I think they also want like someone like myself, I just bought in Lake Havasu, Arizona about a year ago. I bought a property. I'm a boater. I needed water, um, someplace that I could go within a couple hours and still take care of my business. And so I purchased a property to do that. And I know a number of people are looking to they're not ready to retire yet, but they want a place that they can go get in the sun and get out of this rain. Because what you know about the Pacific Northwest, it's probably pretty true. It's raining, the rivers are overflowing, and you kind of get a little tired of that all the time. So I
So
want to
that's
be able to go somewhere, right?
yeah. So now I understand why people in the Seattle, Portland area want to come to Cabo with the sunshine, and it might rain 12 days a year in Cabo, and that's it. Otherwise, it's sunny like today.
Well, I
Yeah.
know that I much prefer to go when I'm going to go get to the sunshine. I mean, nothing against Hawaii, but I personally love the culture. I love the people. I speak a little Spanish. I had about 2.5 years of Spanish back in the day, and I remember quite a bit, but it's it's a little rusty, but I love going to Mexico and getting in sun much better than going to Hawaii. That's me. So if I'm gonna pick a tropical kind of vacation, I'm going to Mexico.
Yeah, come south of the border with, Cabo itself, there's going to be over 4 million visitors this year. And that's from 3 years ago. It's like 100% increase in the number of international visitors. And we're growing like crazy. So the last time you were here was over 5 years ago?
Yeah. 4 years, I guess 4 years ago, I was down in Cancun. I did not, and then that was 4 years ago. And then about a year and a half ago, I was in Valle de Guadalupe, which is the north part, right?
Yeah.
Baja.
Yep. I heard it's beautiful there. I haven't been there yet, but it's 1,000 miles away. It's closer to San Diego than it is to Cabo San Lucas.
So I flew into San Diego and met our friend Mark Pattison, and we drove and did a mastermind there with some people in that area. And I had no idea that that was a thing or a place or anything else. So it was really interesting to go there. Really fun. Yeah. But it's completely different wine country kind of place than where you guys are at, for sure.
Yeah, it's like wine vineyards compared to the beach and fishing.
Well, and there's no little town or infrastructure. The restaurants per se are at the vineyards. So you'll have this incredible restaurant in the middle of nowhere down a, 2-mile dirt road, and you pull in, it's open. It's just like 5-star quality, Michelin star rated type restaurants and wines, but it's just a different thing than I had ever seen before. And so all of the Southern California and the Northern Hispanic Mexico people, that's their place to go, like wine tasting and mezcal.
I just we're starting to work with a new project in San Miguel de Allende, and that's in mainland Mexico, and that's a heavily trafficked expat community. Also, a lot of Americans are visiting that town, buying real estate, and they're known for their vineyards. So a lot of wines, a lot of vineyards, and it's Beautiful, beautiful. And it does have a town. Have you ever been there?
No, I have not. What's the closest airport?
So you could fly into Mexico City, but most people, because that's a few hour drive, they'll fly into León or Querétaro. Querétaro. So two big cities in Mexico. I don't know if there are, I think, direct from like Texas and Arizona, but it's really magical. Actually, San Miguel de Allende is known for the past 2 years. Condé Nast has voted it the best small city in the world. And it beat out cities like Lisbon, Venice, like big, well-known cities. It's incredible.
Wow. So you've got a great little city. There's nice hotels there, restaurants, everything.
Yeah, in fact, we're going for a week vacation next week
Oh, I need to
over
go.
there.
I need to know
Go.
more. I need to make that my next place, I think.
I'll
So
send you a link.
tell me about the development that you have going there.
Yeah, we just got invited to this project because the developer is starting a project here in Los Cabos on the beach, and they already have been doing this project for a number of years, and they're going to launch their phase 2 project. And I don't know if this is big in your neck of the woods, but wellness has been a trend the last few years in Los Cabos, and it's really the way I think the future is going. More wellness. And not just spas, right? It's actual true wellness with stem cell research and stem cell treatments, PRP, red light therapy, ice baths, saunas, all kinds of things. And it's I like that stuff. I'm a biohacker, so I really like, it's cool. I could take one passion and match it with another passion.
I love that.
Yeah. So you'll have to come either to San Miguel or to Cabo, and I can give you the full lay of the land and show you what we're doing here. And it's just one project. So we have several different developments that we represent here in Cabo. And it's, I would say, the largest growing area in all of Mexico for expat second home real estate.
So what can you recommend or tell? So if we do have people that are looking for investment properties, whether they want my ex-husband has a second home down in Mexico. I know a number of people that actually do and travel back and forth, and people actually retire there. So what kind of options do you have available there for somebody who's thinking about, investing something in your area?
Well, the good thing is we're statewide. So we occupy the whole Baja Sur state. And so that allows us the ability to have agents in the different locations, offices, and the knowledge of the distinct areas. So it also gives us the ability to appeal to all price points. So anywhere from a $200,000 investment all the way to a $20 million investment. It could be a house, it could be a condo, it could be a gated community, it could be a standalone home, it could be vacant land to build your own home. It could be beachfront, it could be in the mountains, it could be not on a vineyard, that will be in San Miguel de Allende, but it could be on a golf course, it could be on the marina. It could be downtown. There's a lot of different options. So if people like Mexico, the culture, convenience is a big thing. And that starts from the doorstep, door to door. So direct flights or a quick connection, that's really fueled the growth of our area. And we have over 30, probably 40 direct flights just from the States every day coming into our international airport.
So for what you know about people and their real estate transactions here in the States, what would you say is different or surprisingly different, or something that somebody from out of the area should know about your market and what it takes to buy a home in your area?
So if I were to say 3 things that American buyers coming to our area need to know, number one, 99% of our transactions are done in cash. But our buyers aren't necessarily using their cash on hand. They're leveraging properties in the States, the equity. So there's so much equity in our clients' properties back home. They're leveraging, even at the interest rates they are now, they're lower than the interest rates and the closing costs for financing options here in Cabo. So that's number one. Another thing that a lot of our clients just starting their search think that they don't own the property. They don't own the land. And that's a big false statement. You actually do own the land. You have to either take ownership in a real estate trust or a Mexican corporation, but all legal, and it's not leasehold property. That's another thing, is like, don't I only own the land for 99 years? No, that's not true. You own it in perpetuity. The trust, if you decide to set up a trust, is only for 50 years, and then you just renew it again for 50 years. But it's that's just the bank trust. So that's number two. And another thing that a lot of clients don't know is that there's a vacation rental market, a strong vacation rental market for their second homes. And so much like back in the States, people buying real estate in Palm Springs, Scottsdale, different parts of Texas or Florida, or ski country, they rent their second, third homes. They do the same thing here. And my wife, Rocio, and I, we formed a property management company also to service all of our clients that need that service. So property management, vacation rentals, and we have clients that really like that because they're not in their units all year round. They're maybe 8 weeks out of the year, they're actually using their unit.
That's what I was just going to ask you. As I remembered from our previous conversations that you had a property management piece as well, and I think that's critical I think that gives people peace of mind if that's what they want to do, that it can be handled that way. What would you say? I think I know the answer to this, but I'm sure that if people are coming down there, that they don't speak Spanish, that they have the ability with your agents to be partnered with somebody is able to easily connect with them and explain the process to them.
Yeah, so all of our agents are bilingual. I would say around half of them are American Canadian agents, and then half are Mexican or in other parts of Latin America. But all of them are bilingual. A number of them work with both Mexican and American Canadian clients. I would say 70% of our clients, buyers and sellers, are foreign nationals, Americans and Canadians. And then the rest are Mexican nationals. And we're getting more and more attention from the mainland Mexican buyers. Kind of figure the similar type thing, like someone in Chicago buying a second home in Phoenix or in Fort Myers, Florida. It's the same thing in Mexico. Someone from Mexico City buying their second home or investment property in Cabo San Lucas. So we're getting more and more of those buyer clients, and it's really fueled the real estate expansion tremendously here.
So you don't have a lot of people deciding they want to move to the rain?
No, well, we have a number of people that they snowbird. And so they'll come and stay starting right around now, right before or right after Thanksgiving, and then staying to May, June, and then spend time in the summer with family and friends in Seattle, in Portland, in Chicago, where I'm from. But we're very well represented. We typically, I'm almost 20 years here, and typically we would only have people from the West Coast states. But now we have people from New York, Tennessee, and Quebec City, Canada, Montreal. So being more and more attractive to even the East Coast states and provinces.
Well, in our area, even though I'm saying that it does rain here, it is absolutely beautiful, phenomenal. Where we are located, we're actually about an hour from the ocean beach, from the Pacific Ocean, but we border the Columbia River, which is the largest river body that there is, I think. And I mean, it's huge. So, like barges and ships go on this, goes out to the Pacific Ocean. And then we are less than an hour from skiing. So I could literally be on the slopes and ski in an hour, or I can be at the beach in an hour. And then the Columbia River Gorge, which is a big vacation rental place, so I'm taking a listing this week about 30 minutes from here. You go down the gorge and you've got kite surfers, and it's just an incredible place, vacation place as well. So it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't rain all the time here. And part of the reason that we're so green and we don't have droughts and everything else is because of the rain and the snowfall that we do have. But we do have seasons, so it's good. I was going to ask you, is in any of your developments, do you have the option for somebody, let's say you're building out in one of your developments, do you have an option in the development that somebody could come as a rental and come see how they like it? Or would they just come and get
Yeah.
something like that, where they could see if, like, maybe somebody's already bought in the area, has a rental property there, so you could kind of see what it would be like to be in that community?
Yeah, we have a number of clients that will come and rent one of our properties. Now, it may not be in the community, the exact community that they're considering on buying, but most of our clients, when they're uh, strongly interested in purchasing a property, they'll stay in a rental property in the general vicinity. So, if they're looking for a house in the $600,000 price range and in the tourist corridor, then we would direct them towards some options. They certainly can look online, like on Airbnbs or Verbos, and our agents will guide them, the best options to really get a good sense of the area and community. But we have that happen very, very often because the vacation rentals are more accommodating, they're more flexible, they're many times more affordable for rentals. And so, in fact, I have two high school friends that are coming at the beginning of next year, and they're going to be renting a home in my community. And one of my friends I haven't seen in probably close to 20 years. So it's going to be, it's really cool that, friends and family can come, not necessarily stay in your house, but stay down the street from you.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, so since you brought up price points,
Yeah.
let's talk about what because you and I both know that in different parts of the Mexico, different parts of the states, you can see a very big fluctuation in prices. So what could someone expect at the lower end price points, and what are those, and could someone expect at the higher end price points?
All right. If you're talking a condo on the low end, you can get a brand new 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo, like 900 square feet. And that would be 225, 230 US dollars. And for a house, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,000 square feet, gated community, 2-story, the prices will start in the mid 400s. And typically, I mean, we have houses that are 20, $30 million, but most of our clients are purchasing houses in that $400,000 to $800,000 price range, and for condominiums between 200 and 600,000 for condos.
So these prices you're talking about, this is for new construction, your projects, or is this the general everything?
That's general everything, the averages and the general ranges. The advantage if you're considering new construction, well, number one, it's new. many times you could do customizations or upgrades. And during the construction, we've been, even in this market, seeing 10 to 15% appreciation during the construction. And that's conservative. I'm still seeing some projects where if you get in during the construction phase, you're yielding a 20 to 30% appreciation by the time the keys are delivered to you.
Wow. I wish I wasn't.
So
I wish I wasn't paying for a remodel right now. I'd be getting something.
Well, it's a great opportunity for people that want to have a second home that can also act as an investment vehicle from rental income and also equity appreciation. And I always tell and give advice to my clients, in second home markets, it's always more conservative to not rely on the rental income, but to really just rely on the rental income to cover your expenses. Not like I need a 7-8% return on my money after expenses, although properties do yield that here. It is more of a lifestyle. So imagine having a place that you can always come to, your clothes, you don't have to pack the big suitcases every time you come. You can leave your set of golf clubs, your surfboards, your beach toys, and that convenience and all of the upkeep of the property is paid for by your rentals, and you get all the equity appreciation. And it's so the lifestyle and the memories and the quality of life that our clients have by having a place on or near the beach is, I mean, that's something I always dreamed of when I was living in Chicago.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's the same thing. I haven't rented out my other place. I just can't bear to because but it's for me, it's my lifestyle, right? I want a place to go and only be able to take a carry-on with me if I want to, or if I'm bringing something to my second home, right? So, and such an incredible area that you live in. It really is. It's so fun and beautiful. And I always tell people when you go, you have to take a water taxi out. I know it sounds touristy, but you have to take the water taxi out to Los Arcos. You have to do it. It's just, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's just so beautiful. So.
It is. It really is. And the next time you're in town, let me know. We need to get you out here to see everything that has changed over the years. And I know there's a number of our clients also that could benefit from getting to know you. And I'm excited to get this podcast in front of them. And Donna, I appreciate your time connecting on Zoom amongst all the construction in your office. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, me too, Nick. Thanks so much. Appreciate talking to you as always. And take care. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nick Fong Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ronaval Real Estate and follow Nick on Instagram at NickFong_Ronaval. Ready to find your Baja dream home? Check out the latest property listings at Ronaval.com or findmexicohouses.com. Hasta luego.